Welcome to our intriguing journey into the world of power and leadership. We're about to embark on a deep dive into the life and governance of a man whose style has been compared to that of a monarch, rather than a democratic or ethnic-based leader. His name? Abiy Ahmed Ali, the Prime Minister of Ethiopia. A man whose destiny was prophesied by his mother. A man whose leadership ambition was evident from a tender age. And a man who would rise to rule one of Africa's most populous nations. But how did he get there? What strategies did he employ? And how did he manage to maintain his power? In this video, we will unfold the blueprint of Abiy Ahmed Ali's government, his rise to power, and his strategies. Welcome to the world of Abiy Ahmed Ali. Blueprint of Abiy Ahmed Ali's government by Dr. Mastawal. Before we continue, it's important to note that the views expressed in this video are those of the writer, Dr. Mastawal, and do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of our channel Ethiopia Insight. Sit tight as we take you on a journey of intrigue, manipulation, and the grand deception. What does it mean when a leader's style is compared to a monarch, rather than a democratic or ethnic-based government? Intriguing, isn't it? We're about to delve into the leadership style of a man who has drawn such comparisons, Abiy Ahmed Ali, the Prime Minister of Ethiopia. From a young age, Abiy Ahmed's leadership ambitions were evident. It's said that his destiny was foretold by his mother, a prophecy that would shape his life. It seems that destiny was not just a whisper in the wind, but a drumbeat that resonated in his actions and decisions, leading him to the helm of one of Africa's most populous nations. Now, the journey to leadership is rarely a straight path. Abiy's route was no different. His keen sense of strategy saw him aligning himself with various groups to climb the political ladder. His alliances were not random, but careful choices that would help him maintain power. In the realm of leadership, Abiy Ahmed Ali's approach is intriguingly distinct. The blueprint of his government is not founded on democratic or republic ideals, nor does it primarily focus on ethnic representation. Instead, it mirrors the structure of a monarchy, with everything and everyone serving the king, or in this case, the prime minister. This blueprint was seemingly foretold by his mother, who prophesied that he would become the seventh king. Whether this was a prophecy or a prediction, Abiy's belief in his future leadership was unwavering, and he openly shared his destiny with others, including the late Meles Zenawi. One of his former colleagues, Colonel Binyam of the TPLF, recalls how Abiy was 100% certain that he would lead the nation. This unwavering conviction, combined with strategic alliances, led him to the helm of the Ethiopian government in a series of unexpected political twists and turns. The realization of this prophecy is a testament to the power of conviction and strategy, and it underpins the blueprint of Abiy's monarchical-style government. As we delve further into his leadership style, remember the importance of this blueprint and how it has shaped his approach to governance. Abiy Ahmed's mindset is a unique blend of strategic foresight and calculated manipulation. He firmly believes in vested power, viewing it as his sole possession and not something shared amongst the people, parliament, institutions, or opposition parties. This belief was put to the test when the Tigray People's Liberation Front, TPLF, attempted to regain power. In a move that shocked many, Abiy sought assistance from Eritrea, a neighboring nation, to suppress his own people. He deployed cutting-edge drones, borrowed and purchased from allies like the UAE, Iran, and Turkey, to thwart the advance of hundreds of thousands of TPLF and Tigray Defense Forces soldiers marching from Mekelle to Addis Ababa. Having weakened the TPLF and TDF to a point of fragility, Abiy then extended an olive branch, transforming foes into friends under the guise of the Pretoria Agreement. This strategic move was designed to use the newly allied TPLF and TDF to combat other potential threats, such as the Eritrean government and Fano forces. This strategy is in full swing today, demonstrating the lengths Abiy will go to maintain his hold on power. Abiy Ahmed's ability to adapt and blend in with different political factions makes him a master of disguise. His strategy has always been to play the game of ethnic-based politics, using it as a tool to further his agenda. He has often been seen aligning himself with the Oromo elites, using their influence and power to strengthen his grip on the nation. This, however, is not to say that he is an Oromo first leader. His allegiance seems to shift with the wind, changing as per his needs and the political climate. His tactical maneuvering is particularly evident in the way he handled the potential threat from the Oromo politicians in Welega. Being from Jimma, Abiy knew that he would not be able to lead the Oromia region if the Oromos from Welega were allowed to function in politics. Hence, he strategically established his first command post in Welega, not Tigray, not Amhara. To secure his position, he used the Oromos in Shiwa, like Shimelis Abdissa, to dismantle the networks of influential figures like Dr. Lema Magersa, Bekele Gerba, and Dawood Ibsa. However, when Shimelis Abdissa and his network began to pose a challenge to his leadership, Abiy did not hesitate to expose them. He revealed their hidden network, Kori Naginya, and the numerous crimes they had committed under his watch. This swift action not only neutralized Shimelis and his gang, but also served as a stern warning to anyone who dared to challenge his rule. His actions in this instance once again demonstrate his ability to adapt to changing circumstances, exploiting them to his advantage. This chameleon-like ability has been crucial in maintaining his rule and control over the country. As the king's throne is threatened by the rising Fano movement, Abiy Ahmed's tactical maneuvering appears to falter. His decision to deploy the military into the cities and rural areas of the Amhara region under the guise of disarming the Fano forces proved to be a fatal misstep. The once growing fame of Emperor Abiy started to plummet, a free fall from the sky. The military crumbled in many parts of the Amhara region, with thousands of soldiers dead, captured, or escaped, while the Fano forces grew in strength, amassing a vast collection of weapons. Abiy's popularity among Ethiopians declined to such an extent that even his allies like Shimelis began to see him as a liability rather than an asset. His position on the international stage was also in jeopardy, with Western nations questioning his reliability for their interests in the region. In a few short months, Abiy Ahmed found himself at his lowest point, his kingship teetering on the brink. As the Ethiopian proverb goes, a snake, though headless, will still attempt to strike. This scene paints a vivid image of a once mighty king, now resembling a wounded serpent, desperately trying to strike back at his aggressors. After losing control over most of his kingdom, Abiy Ahmed finds himself cornered, with enemies closing in from all sides. In the north, the Tigray region has slipped out of his grasp following a grueling 2-year war with the TPLF-TDF. Meanwhile, the Oromia region, an active conflict zone with the OLA-OLF, lacks a meaningful government presence. The situation is no better in the Amhara region, where a full-blown war has resulted in the loss of hundreds of thousands of soldiers in just 8 months, along with countless civilian casualties. Reports suggest that nearly 70% of the country's administrative regions are no longer under his control. In the south, Afar, Somalia, Gambela, and Benishangul are all simmering with discontent. The only place where Abiy's grip remains firm is in the capital, Addis Ababa. Yet the king refuses to surrender, clinging to his dwindling power and fighting back with all the strength he can muster. In the midst of chaos and strife, Abiy Ahmed continues to weave an intricate web of deception. From his stronghold in the capital, Addis Ababa, he masterminds a grand narrative aimed at maintaining the illusion of control. His government takes hold of the media, both traditional and social, the banking system, intelligence, and the military headquarters. He manipulates these tools to create an impression of a functioning government, a mirage that stands tall amid the ruins of a crumbling nation. Presenting his government as a savior, Abiy Ahmed pushes forward a narrative of development, using it as a smokescreen to mask the reality of demographic and social fabric changes. His strategy is a delicate balancing act, a dance between perception and deception. The aim, to distract the populace from the grim realities that plague Ethiopia. He uses deception as a tool to craft a perception of stability, a facade that conceals the profound crisis the country is mired in. At the heart of his tactics, there is no genuine substance, only an illusion spun from the threads of deception, a desperate attempt to cling onto his dream of kingship. He manipulates the minds of his people, diverting their attention from the real issues that matter. In the game of power, perception can often eclipse reality, and deception becomes the currency of survival. Abiy Ahmed, the master manipulator, is a puppeteer controlling his marionettes, the key players within his government. Each move, each decision is a calculated act to further his narrative of power and control. The army chief, the media, the banking system, all are pawns in his game of shadows. The manipulation of perception is not limited to the general populace. It extends to the very core of his government, creating a mirage of unity and shared vision. The king's men, blinded by their loyalty and the illusion of shared power, fail to see the strings that bind them. They believe they are part of a noble cause serving their nation, not realizing they are merely tools in Abiy Ahmed's grand scheme. In the world of power and politics, nothing is as it seems. In the world of politics, perception often trumps reality. For Abiy Ahmed, the blueprint of his government is modeled on the notion of kingship, a perception he has carefully crafted and nurtured over time. His mother's words, the parks, palaces, the act of planting trees, and other symbolic gestures are all pieces of a puzzle designed to create and maintain this perception. He has skillfully deceived people into believing that his government is led by the Oromo, and those around him who benefit from this illusion are determined to protect it. The army chief, who has transitioned into a political propagandist, is a prime example of this. Throughout history, deception has been a powerful weapon wielded by individuals across the globe. It's a tool that should not be underestimated, especially in societies where critical thinking and reasoning skills are lacking. The advent of the internet and social media has only amplified these deceptive efforts, enabling leaders like Abiy Ahmed to create the desired perception despite the stark realities on the ground. He is not alone in this game of illusion. A look at leaders like Donald Trump reveals a daily manipulation of perception. Abiy's illusion of power and his determination to retain control can often lead to the creation of a world where perception is king and reality takes a back seat. As we conclude, Abiy rose to power with a promise of change, only to become a master of deception, wielding power like a monarchical king. The parks, palaces, and symbolic gestures all contributed to an illusion of power that seemed unshakable. But the cracks eventually started to show. The reality on the ground contradicted the carefully crafted perception. The fallout will be inevitable. Despite his efforts, Abiy's reign will come to an end, leading Ethiopia into a period of uncertainty and unrest. The future of Ethiopia after Abiy remains uncertain, but it's evident that the people crave authentic leadership characterized by transparency, accountability, and inclusivity. This intriguing journey into power and leadership teaches us that illusion can only go so far. Reality eventually catches up. Deception might be powerful, but it's not invincible. The pursuit of power, if not guided by integrity and truth, is a dangerous game. That's all for now. Thank you for joining us. Before we sign off, we want to hear from you. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more insightful updates, like this video if you found it informative, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your engagement and feedback are invaluable to us. Until next time, stay informed, stay safe, and have a great day. Thank you for watching.